even when Shiva got from a far distance, the player was able to kind of keep me at respectable bay with the fireball, and then afterwards just kind of provide a form of mix-up with the teleport. Not have to sit there and guess, especially with characters that I chose. Liu Kang, and then Cyrax. Even though Cyrax has the teleport, you're sitting there trying to work teleport for teleport, one that doesn't really deal out as much damage, and one that kind of is unblockable and has a form of mix-up and has a better controllability after you launch it. So I found a couple just kind of things with Shiva that I want to start fully fleshing out, but it's still very kind of early in my lab time with her. But yeah, definitely those two characters.
Yeah, definitely Shiva. I think she's very dangerous because you think she's not going to hit you with that stomp, and she's going to hit you with it.
Yeah, stomp as well. Yeah, the teleport one, and then just the regular one, that ground one.
Yeah, she and then there's that thing there's that trick. I don't really know what you want to call it, but the one where you can kind of cut off the screen at a certain range. Like I think you said it was an interrupt, and you can do the ground stump, so when you try to jump out of the way, you end up jumping into the screen or like the back of the screen by accident if you try to jump backwards or something.
Yeah, well, I know like I said, her teleport, like if you just do it down up, then it'll just hone in on wherever that the opponent is. Right. But you can also hold back or forward to kind of direct it, like to kind of go a little bit backwards to where they originally were. So if they do jump back, or if they do try to dash back or even dash forward, you can essentially get them just kind of like dashing or running into it or jumping into it. So yeah, that was the thing that I personally didn't even realize about Shiva initially, that I just kept on getting caught up in when I was playing the more kind of lame defensive style players.
So. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. So it's it has like a devil reverse property where you can navigate it. You said.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like I said, I had no idea about it, because I'd be sitting there, I'm like, well, I moved at the moment, because usually I would just, I thought it would just hone in exactly where you were, so I figured, all right, the moment if they go off screen, you just kind of dash forward, or you do some form of forward, moving, special or whatever, and you can be able to get out of it. But I found myself either dashing into it or jumping into it, because they knew that I was going to be coming forward at them. So, like, you can just keep them at bay all day long, and at least it has a decent amount of recovery if it kind of completely whiffs. Only like a fast moving special that kind of moves you horizontally towards that person, and maybe the shoulder, or maybe even possibly catching them with a jump kick in the right direction, either jump back or jump forward. But it's just one of those things. It's like, if you're already playing that game, you're already caught up in their mind games. And that's not where you want to be. You always want to be dealing out damage, building meter, and having them guessing where you're going to go, not the other way around. So. Okay.
So, like you said, you're primarily using her, or starting off in the
lab.
I'm
gonna start messing around with her, and I mean, it'll be a while till I'll get a chance to test her out, I guess, online, at least on PS3, the way the network's kind of been down on that. But I think I might definitely bring on Xbox Live a couple matches, just to kind of see how people generally react to her. Yeah. But because I really don't see too many Shivas online, so it was really nice to kind of venture into a kind of offline setting and see a comparable, just kind of general either competent player just main her and figure out at least what basic strategies she has.
Yeah, she's definitely pretty strong. I don't know if that was just because people had a hard time with it, or if there was that other thing where she would do this stump and then she would come right out of it and uppercut. And I don't know if that was just people didn't know how to react to that, or if that was
just people just doing stupid stuff on Wake Up. You push you in a situation where, like, depending on who your character is and what your Wake Up options are, right? You can try certain Wake Up attacks. The person's gonna go for that. Because the basic pressure, it's always gonna use a pressure type Shiva with that. You're basically looking for the uppercut or the block on somebody, or the grab on Wake Up. Right. But like I said, it depends on what the Shiva player has to also be cautious of what that other character's wake up options are, because in any instance going for those two against the proper wake up, the Shiva is gonna get punched.
Right. Yeah. Well, since you already kind of started talking, let's talk about whatever character you want to talk about.
Well, actually, I want to talk about Kung Lao.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Okay.
And I've been seeing there's a lot of information out there about Kung Lao. As people know by now, like you can punish the spin.
Yeah.
That's all said. But actually, I want to talk about
time.
stuff that help the Kung Lao players. For instance, just a simple overhead. I'm not seeing people like in the different videos and streams using the overhead, the forward two that often. Also at sweep distance, you can catch somebody trying to jump over you with that as well, which is why it's good to use it on the wake up. Once again, depending on what that other player's options are on wake up, I'll get to that distance where I'm kind of safe, and then use that overhead to catch them. Like a lot of times people like to kind of just jump out on wake up, especially if they feel they're in the corner.
All right.
Once they see that they can't do that, it just becomes kind of a rock scissors paper type of thing where, all right, I try to wake up and jump out the corner. He knocked me back down with the overhead, and then I come in closer. Off that, and just really start to mess with them and use that threat of the spin to limit what they're gonna try to do on wake up.
Right.
But it all starts with that overhead.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people love to, they either like to try to jump out or they go immediately into a crouching block.
Right.
For some reason on wake up, I'm not sure why, but I was seeing that a lot and noticing that move was something that could be used a lot, be effective with. So mainly, that, and then, a lot of people are definitely doing the ground hat, but not mixing the ground hat with the regular hat toss.
Okay.
And that's what I was doing at distance, where you could do the ground hat, and some people don't want to take the chip damage. Right. So they're gonna, you throw a couple ground hats, they might block it or get hit the first time, and then they want to jump.
Right.
And then I just throw a regular hat and let them land into that. Also at full screen, you're not gonna hit the dive kick.
Okay.
So one thing I like to do is just do the dive kick and dash out of it as soon as I touch the ground.
Okay.
And then you're right there on the guy. Because they're waiting, they see a dive kick, they're thinking like, okay, I'm going to sit here and block and wait for him to spin in the air, but I'm not going to land it anyway. But I'm going to dash right out of it so you don't even get a chance to react, and then I'm going to grab you while you're sitting there waiting to punish the dive kick.
Right. Okay.
So that's a couple things that I'm not really seeing people do that, I don't know, maybe that's, that type of information will help them.
We're back. Okay. I guess I kind of wanted to talk about Jade. It was funny because I was talking to Winston about Jade, and Jade was like, "Man, she garbage." The funny thing about Jade is I just have a tendency to pick characters I think that people aren't going to use, and the reason why I do that is not because I'm trying to pick the quote unquote niche character or whatever, but because I don't like mirror matches. That's my main reasons for not picking certain characters. I really hate mirror matches.
Yeah, I do too.
So with Jade,
mind them. I personally don't mind them, and I think definitely should have went that route a little bit more this weekend. But I know you were telling me you really like. You were telling me about that, and even in Street Fighter, how you like mirror matches, and I was like, really? I don't like mirror matches at all. Because then it comes down to just straight up player versus player, as opposed to what the character can do.
Yeah.
Like with certain characters, I don't mind mirror match. You have to be like when in Street Fighter, I don't mind Ryu versus Ryu.
Yeah,
I don't mind at all. But when you have like particular characters that have certain options to get in, like I hate used to hate like an Apple versus Apple match,
Oh yeah.
or like or something like that. But if a character has different type of options, like in Mortal Kombat, I wouldn't mind like a Scorpion versus Scorpion uh, fight, or like I really wouldn't mind like a Katana versus Katana mirror match as well either. But some other characters, it just bothers me.
Yeah.
It throws me off.
I think because certain characters are very much certain characters lean toward a certain play style. You know, Ryu can be played cautiously or he can rush people down. So those kind of mirror matches are going to be probably somewhat interesting just because people can play that one character in so many ways. And then there are characters, like you said, like Abel, who have kind of limitations in the style that he plays. I mean, he can play different styles, but he is very much most effective in rushdown, you know, his mix-up. And you got a guy doing the same thing as you, you know, he has to rush you down and mix you up, and it becomes, you know, annoying and kind of a problem. I think, yeah, it's a little, I feel like that's maybe a little different in MK, but I digress. Okay, so with Jade, the reason I want to talk about Jade is because I was kind of messing with her online a little bit, and I was like, man, I was getting a little irritated because when I was playing people, I was like, man, I'm kind of having a hard time playing with her. But the funny thing is I can land, you know, I have a certain combo I can always land whenever I hit damage. So I kind of want to talk about some things I kind of picked up and things I had noticed when I was playing with Jade. Okay, so Jade it's kind of hard to, she's kind of, I would say she's kind of a rushdown character, but you gotta be, she's like,
well, yeah, she's definitely a rushdown. You have to be a really offensive. I kind of liken her to Ibuki in Street Fighter, whereas it's like, you know, you just have to kind of be on the person and really, for her, she has good options. I think it's just that, you know, you have to be, you know, timing knowledge.
She's technical rushdown.
Yeah,
right.
She's very
what she can do and what moments, because if you pick the wrong option, then you're getting punished.
Yeah, she's very that's one thing I've learned about her, because now she's probably the character I know in depth the most, just because I play with her a lot during tests. I remember Hector like, oh, you working on that Jade combo, huh? Blah blah blah. Yeah. So he would see me working on it. But it wasn't because I was like working on it, it's because I was trying to think of other things to do with it, and I really could never think of that many things. But namely with her, there are, like, I know pretty much all of her important strings. I feel like I know her important strings. So with Jade, her quick recovery string is the one, it's like a forward, it's forward 2, 1, 2. So that's the one that throws the staff out and ends with the shoulder.
Okay.
That one is awesome. The problem with it is if you do it empty, like, you know, if you're not touching the guy on the first hit, then it recovers extremely slow. Now, if you hit the guy with it on block, like from, say, outside of sweep range, then it recovers so quickly that you can go down and kind of continue to pressure. Like, say you can come out and do a low 3, like a low, like, you know, some ankle kicks.
Yeah, ankle shots.
Or you can even mix that up and you can do the 4. And I think the 4 is, for me, when you hit low, like a crouching 4, it's almost like a pseudo combo. It's not really a combo, but if you hit low 4 and then hit something like, say, the down forward 2, which is that staff, it won't be a true combo, but the way it comes out, it'll come out pretty fast.
Okay.
I would do the ankle shots over low 4 just because the ankle shots are a little faster, and what it does is it spaces you, you know, because people are going to, like, you know, run into the ankle shots. Either you can block the ankle shots or you cannot block the ankle shots, because they're not going to take that much damage, but it kind of gives you a chance to reset.
Yeah.
Also with her, she has the pop-up. It's 2, 3, 4. The thing